Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, grasshoppers. Oh, we are white against Angelica. Well, we have to play it this way. We are going to be trying a new method in this particular line recommended by Sam Shankland. He recommends just knight f3. I prefer Morphy's method of queen e2. So I'm going to stay with my method for now until I look at Sam Shankland's method just a little bit closer. Basically, d5 is going to be met by e takes d5 or e5, however the case might be. And I want to prevent any funny business on this square because that knight needs to come out in that direction. We're just going to play c3, bishop e3, knight to d2, knight to f3, castles, perhaps even f4 thrown in before knight f3, depending on how it goes. So, let us do it. Let us follow through the way we said we were. Without a knight on f3, knight e4 is a little dubious. So he is getting it. c3 was probably best, but we're going to let him lose time, or her, Angelica. We did not get our coffee, unfortunately, but we are going to play exactly as this. There is no break with e5, so I'm not entirely positive what our opponent is up to in this position, but we are trying to centralize our pieces appropriately. d6 was a little short-sighted, to be honest, but they want to keep this line for the bishop open. All right, fair enough. And we should remove the defender of that pawn before we continue. Alrighty then. I'm still curious. It does give them a square for their knight at least. And now for something completely indifferent. Knight to c4, bishop to b5, knight is hanging, d5, d5, we are going for it, just because we can. It seems so real. So we also have knight a5 instead of just sacking the knight. The original intention was to sack the knight, play queen h5, and then knight e5 again. But I promised myself, I said, self, we're going to play good chess. We always have knight takes f7. We just don't have to sacrifice more than one piece in this endeavor. always have Paris. And now for something completely indifferent. Does he have knight takes d5? They do still have knight takes d5. Takes, takes, check, takes. I think we have to at least threaten this in order to keep our knight from being trapped. So now, do we continue on the same vein? I feel like we do. We must keep up the same attack that we had before. Remember, we're not down any material. We can always try to extract our knight before it ever gets a chance to be captured. First thought, of course, was to attack the rook. But is it the same thing? This was my original intention. Or we can just play good solid chess as I promised myself that we would. Good solid chess, folks. I promised myself to play good solid chess. Let's finish the opening before we start playing chess. Improving our worst placed piece, how bad can it be? And now for something completely indifferent. So do we play this move first? Where does the queen go? I think we should continue along the same vein of entertaining all of our options. What in the world? Where is he going and what does it all mean? Where is she going? I apologize. It's true that we now are giving up material. But we are gaining something for that material.
Drink it down in one breath.
Namaste. Uh-oh. Don't tell me I have to refund you again, Ron. I refunded you before because I took all of my so here We have more where that came from. One of my favorite lines. We have more where that came from. All right, we're gonna run for water and milk. Subranel, I am getting your hydrate now. I apologize. We need a game to watch though. Alireza GM versus Stilano. I'll be back with coffee and water. We are simul streaming on Kick. And hopefully Alireza GM will not polish him off faster than I can return with water and coffee. So we have Sprudel's water for the hydrate, and we have a fresh coffee, and we have ears on this tournament. Dina Komarov's birthday. 5 minutes overdue. Can I do this? Let's see what we can do to weaken their white squares. Should we continue to weaken the white squares? I think we must. We have to take this opportunity. Are we returning the pawn? Is that the story? That's a bummer. Are we returning the pawn? It looks like we are. Knight e4. Takes. Yeah, it does look like we're returning the pawn. It's very sad. It's a sad day. After all. It's a sad day after all. It's a sad, sad day. And herein lies the tale where we return the pawn. I haven't actually taken your points yet for this hydrate because I still need to. This has become entertaining. Oh, I see. We're just going to keep on attacking. Thank you for the hydrate. All right, this has got to stop. Bishops of the same color. Bishops of opposite color. We just have to decide which one is the more dangerous one. First things first, we have to keep attacking him. And we keep attacking him. Interesting. Oh, I see. I could have brought that one in a little faster. That much is true. Now let's just do it this way. The winner is got to keep this king close to the C pawn, which is going to be the pawn that keeps us into the big money. I do have to threaten that. Just a small fork. Is the pawn enough to win? That is the question. His passed h2 pawn versus my c pawn being passed. How does he stop this? I don't think so. Everything is attacked just like it should be. Now here, can I just do this here? And is this a pawn promotion combination? It looks like it should be. We're still threatening it to. Can I get there? Here, there, and yonder? We don't want to sack any more pawns than we have to.
Especially for subscribing for 1 month.
And we're off. And we're off now. Really? It did turn into a pawn promotion combination. The other really cool pawn promotion combination that we missed was that if they played bishop d5 to try to reach bishops of opposite colors here, right here, well, right here, bishop d5 runs into d2. That was the combination. If bishop d5, I don't have quite enough time because this could still be problematic. I have the wrong colored rook's pawn. So if he gets that pawn with either or both of these pawns, so if I were to exchange like that and try to promote, and he gets to stop it, and he actually gets to trade off this pawn with the help of his two pawns, then this pawn is not enough because this bishop can sack. So therefore, the combination that I was looking at after bishop d5 is d2. And I did think that king e7 was a better move. Now that I look at it, on this check, king e7 was a better move, given that I'm winning the bishop anyway, and I don't have to lose the bishop with check, right? And we reach the same position as in the game, whether he puts his rook on d5 or not. My king is better placed. Very lucky, everybody. Very, very lucky.
Legend and longtime supporter of the dojo, Zalakai created and donated our amazing belt sub badges. Please go follow Zalakai and watch entertaining and educational chess content at.
Please message Zalakai and tell him that we want him back streaming. I'm gonna keep hounding him with this until he is once more a member of our community again. We miss him. He may have an amazing IRL life, but as it turns out, it's not quite the same. Let's watch Ali Reza GM again. Oh, he just finished. Never mind. Is there another game going? Dragon Emperor, Dark Blade in the house. E. Holterman, namaste. Thank you so much for the tier 1. We need to give some massive love and affection. Thank you for being here, E. Holterman. So what is the story now for this night? He does have a way out. I was looking for something fancier. The fancier part still exists, but this bishop is pinned, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we had to play rook takes. I do believe we had to play rook takes here before we did anything. Nice work, Dragon Emperor. Nefedov, I saw this danger coming when the
Dark Blade
said, OMG, that was the game of a lifetime for me.
Dark Blade. I don't know about that. Everyone please kneel, as Dark Blade has graced us with his presence. Where are we? Coach Glenn. Philippines? Indeed. Coach Glenn, welcome to the dojo. I hope that he is not the same as Chess Coach 100, but he could be. We are going to do
Dark Blade
said. I full-on sacrificed a knight and proceeded to choke my opponent out.
That's so funny. Let me just make sure I have this command. I'm not sure if it exists, but add command. Wait just a moment. My commands don't seem to be here in the cloud bar. I'm active on Twitch, YouTube. Alright, I'll worry about it later. We've given Coach Glenn a leg up in this particular line. And everyone has been here before. We all know how this one goes. If black plays the best move here, I will fall out of my chair. Oh my god. He played the best move here. Good job, Coach Glenn. And now for something completely indifferent. So B4 sacks the pawn, by the way, among other things. But we're just going to play this very calmly. As calmly as we can. Just to see what we can do. Then he gets the good knight versus bad bishop scenario that everybody always longs for. Coach Glenn is good. Very strange. Bishop takes, pawn takes. Bishop takes, bishop takes. We're fighting a 1-minute deficit. Improving our kink for the end game. Oh, pawn weaknesses, I see. What's this? Pawn weaknesses I see before me? Maybe I should have played that before? So we now have to decide how we are getting there from here. Here it takes, there it takes. We have a space advantage. We have the better pawn structure. We just need an avenue for our rook. A better avenue for our rook. Because we have a space advantage. This might have been a better move. It's hard to say. Alright, we can't get too frisky with this. We have the pawn majority on the king side. 3-2. Still working it. So here a check, there a check, everywhere a check, check. Oh, you're going to just repeat? Is this position just equal? I think not. I didn't sack that pawn for no reason. I see. Oh no. Is this true? Is this true? Did I miscalculate? I may have miscalculated. Let's see, here, there. Yeah, I miscalculated. I tried to win this endgame. I paid the price. And I don't get back in time. I do not get back in time, but I still have activity. Oh no! Mouse slip. Arrgh. That was a very good game. Was it equal? I don't lose this position all that often. I do lose this position all that often. I do lose this position all that often. 77 other players. So F3 could have been worse. I think I should go for B4. But maybe, just maybe. Yeah, B4. And on knight E6. Not two pieces for a rook with knight takes E4. And then rook C1 or rook B1. Etienne Becreux goes for rook to C1. So we'll go with that one. And after knight D4, let's look at this one, which seems to be the most popular move. Knight on E to D4 gives black the most winning chances. Knight takes D4, forced. And then bishop E3. Knight takes E2, queen takes E2. And this is the position that I was striving for without the pawn on B4. It's a tough call. Bishop to E6, knight to D5. Again, this is the position I was striving for, without the wasted tempo of F3. So as it turns out, was this position dead equal? Oh, I lost after bishop takes g7. Because he had bishop takes c4. Winning a pawn out of the deal. And in this position, I get to play c5 and win the exchange. OMG. This is a great removing the defender exercise. A great removing the defender exercise. How silly was that? And after rook takes c5, bishop takes... Is this true? Yeah, bishop d4. Simple enough. Removing a defender. Wow. If dc5, bishop takes f8, it's just winning because he can't take back and guard his pawn. So he has to play this move. And then he merely just loses the exchange at the cost of a pawn. And he doesn't want to trade any more pieces. So this is just winning. Alright, fair enough. Has the next round started? I only wanted to check this position here. It's just the equal, unfortunately. I tried my very best to get counterplay. Rook to f7. So rook to c7 was a little dubious. I should just go after the pawn straight away. Indeed. Fair enough. Reload. Let's go back to our analysis. So instead of that, I attempted to win. Rook d8 was correct. King e6, rook e8. King f7, rook d8. Rook takes g5. Rook to d7, check, taking on this side. And then taking on that side. Rook takes g5. Am I in trouble on that side? Rook to d7, check, king g8, rook takes d6. King g8 is forced. Doesn't want to lose this pawn. Doesn't want my rook behind the passed pawn. And I have a two-step to take the pawn on b7, so that should be equal. So even after this move, rook takes d6, king to g7 to prevent. And then f4. No, I don't know if I like f4, but f4 is forced, huh? And I made this position very difficult for myself. Alright, last game is Ron Hay versus Ariel Zamora. Ron has drawn it. Fair enough. Nice work, Ron. Yeah, Coach Glenn, nice work. Good game. May the wisest soul smoke us. I resemble that remark. Alright, plenty of time. Remember, we're just playing good chess. And I tried the Batman attempt that last game in order to win it, and I should not have. This time, on the other hand, the novelty to avoid, this is the move that was unveiled this weekend at the North American Youth Chess Championships. H3 often balances out A6. However, here, I believe, do I play this followed by that? That is the question. Or do I wait? Do I give him a chance at it? I don't think that I can afford to. Interesting. He's choosing to hang on to the pawn. Just because he takes on c4 doesn't mean that I'm going to take back. But it does give me the bishop pair. He does have a space advantage. We have pressure on d5. Interesting. What is his threat? Knight e4 to ruin my pawn structure, to try to get a past d pawn. All right. I am going to accept the challenge because we have a pawn majority. The threats are beginning. We'll know in a moment if the threats are real. Kingston, my garbage was taken out. The blockade becomes real. Bishop takes, pawn takes. His king is still in the center. He chose that way, which I find fascinating. He didn't choose knight e5. Alrighty then. We have more knights where that one came from. The novelty is alive. The question is, does it do what I think it does? I don't know. So now we push, we push. Let's not give back anything unnecessarily. So the bishop's being attacked.
Said. Day John.
But we were just planning on pushing, right? That's what we were planning on doing. Good morning, Lauren. Good eye, Mike. Did you see the Seth Rogen episode on I think it was the Note episode. Seth Rogen, the Note episode, where he has to argue I don't have a choice, right? I do not have a choice. I think I could have just gotten the exchange back with rook takes c4 and bishop to b5. Knight takes b2, bishop takes f1.
Lauren JW
said, "No, I haven't. I did get to see the Browns preseason game vs the Rams. We won undefeated preseason, which means knowing the Browns we'll lose every regular season game."
Knowing the Browns will lose every preseason game, yeah? So now, do we do the same thing? Rook takes knight, takes bishop c5? No. Where are you headed from here? You have knight c2, rook takes c4, knight takes a3. Just trying for some simplicity in my life. A little bit of simplicity never hurt anyone. So now, are we forking? Does he have Gegenspiel?
Said, "No, we
He
were
probably
undefeated
does.
in the preseason, which means we will lose every regular season game. I have been a Browns fan long enough to know that hope is an illusion."
Hope is the answer. Yeah, Ron is
Lauren JW
very clever.
Said, "Unless your hope is in the Browns making the playoffs."
It's a little slow, isn't it? A little slow. The old me would have prevented knight f6 with king to g7. But knight takes, rook takes, knight takes, rook takes. Rook takes, knight takes. Sorry, Ron. Good solid chess, everyone. That's the recipe.
Lauren JW
Said, "Good game, John."
Pegasus SWE
Said, "Well, no Rosen today."
No Rosen today. You know, the thought crossed my mind when I realized I had F5. No Rosen
Lauren
today.
JW
The
said,
pawns were too far
"Oh
away.
gosh, I really don't like Rosen."
For those of you who have not yet checked your Rosen score, you can actually check mine as well. I should be over 500 now. You may check your Rosen score here, and checkmate with a pawn is perhaps the easiest one to get. Bishop and knight mate had crossed my mind. 4 knight checkmate. I don't know that I've ever done that one, but I definitely have seen it attempt. What is the Mona Lisa checkmate? Oh. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Only on Cheesecom could he achieve that mate. Someone had to have worked that one out. But, yeah, why not? I think I can open it in another window. Click here to analyze.
Lauren JW
said, "The reason I dislike Rosen is because he is the sole reason for the majority of suffering I have in chess. Popularizing all those silly gambits is infuriating. Every time I face some silly gambit I go, oh no, is this one of those Rosen things?"
It's not a silly gambit though. It is fun chess. Absolutely fun chess. Absolutely fun chess. We're running it in the background. Alright, I'll be right back. The bathroom.
Lauren JW
said, "My definition of fun is 20 moves of Rui Lopez theory, but I accept that I might be a masochist." Mister, I can't close the door all the way now because Jesse's here. Hey Jesse, I take that to mean, Lauren, that you are not a fan of freestyle chess. What? You don't have to leave. Leave. Not a fan of being held, though. Not a fan. Yeah, I actually cleared the way for him to be able to, Chessie that is, to be able to go behind the couch again. Originally, it was not possible. Oh no, KZH Chess, where are you? Hopefully you're only analyzing your game. You're going to be back in a moment. So we are 1/3 of the way through "There is a logical
our
beauty to
games.
games by Capablanca, Karpov, and Kramnik. Tactics flowing from positional superiority is chef's kiss."
The chef's kiss, indeed. Love to you too, Lauren. I agree with you on the same front, by the way. I am looking for any other loves... Oh, there we go. I should use that love as well. I forgot about that love.
Lauren JW.
Said. Silly gambits that work because opponent didn't study the line is obnoxious, but hey, I know I'm one of those chess elitists Gotham and Rosen go on about.
But it's not about studying the line, it's about knowing how to control the center, how to hold the center, how to fight for the center. And with Lauren here, of course, the Tarrasch is the order of the day. Hey, mister, that's my printer cord. Mr. Mischief. So if we
Lauren
move, then
JW.
they move.
Said. Normally I would agree, but Rosen spends Leela or Stockfish for a week coming up with lines that in a blitz game I don't have time to refute.
Well, that is why he's an IM and not a Grandmaster. You have to appreciate those things, you know? Do I want the isolated pawn, or don't I? No, we're just going to play a very normal game of chess against KZ chess.
Lauren JW.
Said. Sometimes when I get angry losing to a Stafford gambit, I watch the video of Rosen being upset at losing to a 700 rated player.
That does bring pleasure to most, indeed. It does bring a lot of pleasure to most. Interesting.
Lauren JW.
Said. It's petty, I admit I am guilty.
Now, we are just going to follow through on our ideas one way or the other.
Super Patzer.
Said. I mean, if you watch his TT stream regularly, he gets into some horrific positions.
Dark
He is a
Blade.
specialist at
Said.
that.
If something silly works, it's not silly anymore. Rule of life, what to do.
Lauren JW.
Said. I really wish Tarrasch was still around to give Rosen a good talking to.
Super Patzer.
Said. I really like Eric though.
Yeah, me too. So I haven't activated my rooks. He's got one very active rook in return for the pawn. What can he accomplish in that
Lauren
same
JW.
Said. He is a
vein?
great guy, just infuriating. Let me be bad at chess in peace.
Let me be bad at chess in peace. Indeed, Lauren, indeed. All right, moment of truth. Uh-oh. Our Marvel head cushion has extracted itself. So now, Bishop c5, Rook takes. I feel like this is just a solid move, but let me just do some proofing here. I think Rook takes b4 or Queen takes e8 is forced, right? I could be wrong.
Super Patzer.
Said. I was a bit horrified you used Rossmann and Rosen in same sentence. They sound the similar, but that's about it.
Indeed. So that knight is rather ineffective where it is. So we're going to leave it be. And we're just going to try to improve our position appropriately enough. We do have a back rank weakness. Not so much, but we do have a back rank weakness. Bishop c5, A takes b3, A takes b3, Bishop e5. A takes b3 here, takes on c3, and then we have more, right?
Lauren JW.
Said. Gotham is annoying too, but in totally the opposite side of the spectrum. He said the Rui Lopez was annoying opening as a Tarash fan. That is heresy, and he is also responsible for quite a bit of the London system popularity, which does my head in as black.
Indeed, and don't forget that he also plays for the Vienna game rather than anything else. I have to... Oh, on the Grand Prix attack against the Sicilian, of all things. God help us, right? Here. I feel like this is just
Lauren
winning.
JW.
Said. Why can't I just get 40 moves of classical theory sarcasm?
And is he getting in here? Where does the knight go?
Super Patzer.
Said. Let me rephrase that for you. Why can't everyone play the Spanish?
Lauren JW.
Said. Great point, Super Patzer 2. You are extremely wise.
Yeah, that was not good. That's how I have to do it when I make a move and I'm not willing to let them try to give it back to me.
Lauren JW.
Said. And by Spanish I mean the lines I like, not the annoying ones. Also sarcasm.
The Rui Lopez is the soul of chess, and the fact that someone could say that basically just tells me that they're not willing to become better at chess. I'm not even sure why Arthur's Nixons is taking his money. It's like a form of malpractice lawsuit, you know? It's a malpractice lawsuit waiting to happen. Basically, if let's just say at one time I was offered a position as living in a mansion on Long Island to help a 60-ish year old man, absolute dream and love of a guy, become a master. And he's probably about 16 or 1700. And I couldn't guarantee that I could help him become a master. I don't know that he was just lonely. I don't know that he's still with us. This was 25 plus years ago. God rest his soul if he's not. But he basically offered me an amazing salary per year, housing for my wife and daughters, and use of the swimming pool and things like that. An amazing life. Well before COVID in the 1990s. Yeah, it's been almost 30 years now that I think about it, but less than 30 years, I believe. I think it was around 98. So he offers me this in return for ensuring that he becomes a master. Basically, he would become my one dedicated student. And I believe that it would be possible, but I couldn't guarantee it. Had I taken the offer, right? Had I taken the offer, it just seems crazy to me that I would probably be able to try to capitalize on this, you know, without any amount of sincerity, you know? Coach Glenn versus Swiss Man.
Super Patter
said. Well, e4 is best first move and probably the least compromising. bc4 is probably best second move, but bb5 is more interesting.
I would have to let Stockfish run for quite some time before I was able to make that claim. What in the world are we doing? Do we have two weaknesses to work with? Can we actually win this position?
Super
I don't
Patter
necessarily know that that move was needed.
e4 best by test John.
Yes, but he also thought that there were like we really needed that a5 square in order to attack b3. So for example, this would have been very good. But I don't see a way in here so easily.
Lauren JW
Said. I've been tainted in my perspectives by reading too much Tarash.
So for example, in this particular position, should he go about the same exercise without moving that pawn and be able to get his knight to a5, he would probably be better. Black could be better because these pawns are all so passive. But I'm not entirely positive that playing a5 helped because it took away a square from the knight. And there was no real danger of white playing either b4 or a5 by themselves with only the minor pieces on the board. Oh no, and now our knight is rather trapped. Okay, so we have a way to get it out now. And perhaps try to get to this side of the board to provoke some of those weaknesses. Must move.
Super Patter
Said. Is this theoretical draw?
No, it looks like the bishop is experiencing some technical difficulties. But to what end, I do not know. Ooh, ouch, ouch. Now Swiss Man is running the option to win it because of the outside pass pawn. This
Super
was
Patter
certainly not worth
Said.
it.
To know h4 is an issue.
interesting, but we have a tempo. Knight e7, bishop d7, knight g6, equal. Bishop c8, knight e7, bishop d7, knight g6,
H5.
bishop. Well, king h5 runs into knight check, and knight takes pawn already. So herein lies the tale. This pawn is going to go because this pawn is flying. So it looks as though we're gaining time on this exercise. And there's no way the pawn can get past h5. So there's more than one passed pawn being dealt with here. And this king should have run and boogied back into the square of the pawn.
Super Patzer.
Said. Power of the Knight.
Lauren JW.
Said.
That
Honestly,
pawn
though,
is falling.
Gotham and Rosen are great for chess in the big picture, great content creators.
No, you could just play knight f2 and he could resign. Because now you have to play
Super
king
Patzer.
to d3 to at least keep
I wouldn't
him
mind
from
Gotham, but I
resigning a
called
little
him a
sooner.
twat and he banned me.
Check. Is there a way of getting the knight to this square? No, you should have just taken it. And he does have a chance to cover all the squares with knight takes c4. Or even king takes c4.
Super Patzer.
Said. This is over.
Indeed. Yeah, it was very sad that he was h4 a winning move. That is the question. I don't think it was winning by itself, but it did create two weaknesses that were very difficult to defend. An inroad for the king. If white did sense any danger, just g4, and that's the end of it. Should be the end of it. Torn here, but that weakness is keeping the pawn from grabbing an equal share of the center. Perhaps b4 would have been astute before this, before allowing c5. Because now black has a severe advantage and things that can't be protected so easily.
Said. These end.
Wow. Was this for real? Bishop takes, and the bishop is better. Or is it? I guess it's not better enough. So now black is winning because he has a pawn majority on that side of the board. This was also a hasty move. I don't necessarily know that that was needed. There's no way in for the king. The knight is superior to the bishop. The king has to be tied down to this move. Yeah, and it's totally equal all the way up until white plays king h5. What he really just has to do is keep an eye on the material. Oh, he can take that pawn and then get back inside the square of the pawn.
Said, knight is just superior force with so many pawns on board.
Well, white put his king on vacation with king h5. This violates the rule of not being in front of your own passed pawn as well. Alright, Alvarez a GM. Maybe I shouldn't give him 2 minutes on the clock. Number 2 and number 3 as the chess coach from the Philippines gets away. I'm spotting him 150 rating points. And time on the clock. Oh no! I blundered, but this is okay. I managed to return it. And it's because of this that we are here. Is this my second King's Indian loss for the day? Oh, against c6, right? We're just going to restrict. Continuing with the semi-Averbach. Very good, sir. But now, does c5 work? Takes. c5 does not look like it should work. Just going to continue the process of restriction, continually improving our position, improving our worst placed pieces, preventing d5 and other moves. So we are, believe it or not, simulcasting on kick. So is bishop takes d4 a better move? Let's consider it. Trying to get a good square for my knight. Worst comes to worse. He has to guard this pawn, right? That's fascinating. So if we attack his queen, queen takes, knight takes. I don't think I have much of a choice but to follow through. I'm trying to improve my worst placed pieces. Knight takes, bishop takes, knight takes, bishop takes. Do I get to play c5? I don't think so. Knight takes. This is not hanging. Knight takes c5. Is there anything to this? I think not. It's true. He's gonna play rook. This does look like it is a shot. But can I get to the weak square d6? That is the question. Giving him the option of keeping the queens on the board. Knight to c3 doesn't do. Queen to c2. Knight to c3, always an option. This move as well. Queen e7. I have to remember I'm spotting him over a minute on the clock. Just trying to prove a point here. And that point would be that the bishop has no squares. Constantly improving our worst placed pieces. His pawn on a5 is artificially isolated. Rook takes, bishop there. Let's just keep everything open. All of the options open. We need to gain some time here. He is grabbing 2 pawns. And he's getting out of dodge fast. Oh, I see. Darn it. I'm losing. Going for the Hail Mary. Yes, yes. I was going for the Hail Mary. Oh, you've got that? Is that checkmate? Is it Zugzwang? Oh, wise guy. Wise guy. Darn it. Darn it. Nice work, sir. I was trying my best to save that game. Alireza GM, fortunately, gives me better tie breaks on the average rating. Is that true? Performance? Average opponent, 1908. I definitely have the higher opponent score. It's not the higher performance rating, though. Well, that's interesting. Just here to read the meter. No time for the old in-out, love. And now for something completely different. Good solid chess, remember. Just in case we were forgetting to play good, solid chess. Good, solid chess. Good, solid chess. Good. Solid. Chess. Good. Solid. Chess. Mm-hmm. Knight takes, bishop takes, check. Very annoying. Is it a fork? Whoa. Not entirely sure it was worth it. But it might have been. It might have been worth it. Got a discovery. How discoverable is it? How discoverable is it? The old removing the defender ploy. B3 was not our only option. Interesting. I don't have a choice in the matter, do I? I do not. So is it just a trade? Or is it Memorex? Pawn takes. No, I have to actually play this way. Queen to c2. queen to e3. Am I giving it back? It does look awkward. Rook takes. Rook a8. Queen c2. Not good enough. Good that we kept these lines closed, despite the fact that I would have loved to have had that rook hanging on a1 when all of this was going down. Yep, that worked. Whew. Staying ahead of Ali Reza GM, but how? How? Tiebreak 12 and a half. My opponents are scoring well. He lost to Coach Glenn, and he lost to Psychartic. So Psychartic is not playing as well. As he could be. It takes experience to become better at endgames, though, Super Patzer. It just takes experience. Just get into them more and more and more. And then you are in business. I mean, if anyone can see an open line, then you know what belongs on it. If it's a diagonal, or if it's a bishop. I mean, if it's a file, obviously it's a queen or a bishop. I mean, queen or a rook. Uh-oh. So Yamato is no longer playing in the tournament. He is in Taiwan. Or China, depending on how you look at it. Angelica Joy is no longer playing, so his tiebreaks are not improving. I am the only one improving my opponent's tiebreaks. Coach Glenn has beaten both of us. So as long as Coach Glenn is winning, well, I take that back. Coach Glenn, good job, Ron. Cha-ching. And has Ron played Ali Reza? Not yet. We might not have another game. Swissman. Coach Glenn beat Swissman, right? So Swissman could improve. Doesn't look good for Swissman. Well, that's it. Well, that was the 7th round. That was the 7th round. Had Swissman won, I would have finished in 3rd place. But because my opponent won in that last game, which was Ariel Zamora. Did I play Ariel Zamora? So I improved by 1 tiebreak point? I don't remember if I played Ariel Zamora at this point. No. But someone else must have won for me in the last round. Who was it? Bulk M. Zaz. No, he did not improve. That's interesting. So let's see here. View all 7 rounds. In the last round, who improved by 1 point? Was it because I beat Ron and Ron gained 1 more point? Yeah, that's true. I don't think that game was finished when I first started looking at it. I think Ron made it all possible. Because I accidentally beat Ron. And Ali Reza did not play Ron. So there we go. So I was safe in either case. Because Ron gave me another 1.5 points, and Ali Reza could only gain another point. Increíble. Now I did promise a review of all of our games. 25,052. Actually, at 25,000, I was thinking about starting the new account with MC Dojo, but I may just change my Twitch and YouTube to MC Dojo. But I haven't decided that yet. Master Chess Dojo is working well on its own. Learn from your mistakes. So yeah, that was a definite blunder. That was a definite blunder because all he had to do was play there, but knight takes winning the rook. So simple. I don't know what I was thinking. Now this got me into trouble. Because my knight was trapped. I was really gambiting a couple of pieces there. Knight takes a2. Wow, what a swing. So the position is just equal for the most part. Oh, I can go back for it? Is that it? Yeah, I can just go back for the f2 pawn. He doesn't have time to do anything else. And then when I capture, I get to retreat with check and bother the daylights out of him. But his knight is strong. Done reviewing Black's mistakes. next up, Arya. I feel like this was a very tense game. So when I took on e5, that was a mistake, eh? I had a better move. I mean, the move I feared most was this particular move, but taking. I mean, this is the only other move possible, right? I guess not. So it wasn't knight takes, pawn takes, or pawn takes. Black is overworked here because this pawn can't be guarded. I see. Yes. It was a simple overloading combination that I missed here. A simple overloading combination, winning a pawn. So next, what was wrong with this particular move? The fact that did not like f4. It threw away my advantage. So c takes d5, c takes d5, and I just start breaking through in the center with this knight looking very silly.
Said, you were
You trapped my bishop, exactly. I did trap my bishop. So he may have had f6. But I feel like I always had bishop takes and bishop takes. But you're right. It was questionable. I always did want to play f5 too. That was my plan. Now he escapes. And this doesn't do anything that I thought it did. Wow, what a move. Can he really play bishop takes f5, bishop takes f5, g takes f5, rook takes f5, queen to g3? Maybe it does nothing. There's also bishop takes c3. King h7 seems sus. Next up. So in this position, we had a number of moves to choose from. Bishop takes probably being the safest one. Obviously, I don't think I can play e d4, queen d4, queen h4, queen d4 with a perpetual of sorts. Because I can never block with the queen because the bishop's hanging. So rook takes f2, rook takes f2. So bishop to c4 check. Or is it just queen to c4, queen takes d4? Attacking the rook? I think that's probably it. Next up. Yeah, I was panicking here. For some strange reason, I was panicking in this position. I didn't throw away a lot of my advantage here. I'm still probably decisive, but now I can put my king in the corner. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Maybe this check followed by rook. Rook f8, queen h7 mate. Go for the weakness. So in this position, I played for a bit of a Hail Mary. How did I throw away all of my advantage in this position? When I played e4, how did I throw away the entirety of my advantage? I thought I was stopping bishop d5. I know the computer just wants me to take a free pawn. And I'm just winning the endgame. That's what the computer wants me to do. Everything else is covered. But as it turns out, I played e4, king g7, and I get the same move. So he was supposed to play h4. Aria, good work. And against poor George, I was black. Oh. Learn from my mistakes. It's good that I didn't look at it as black. So here I played bishop to d6 when I could have played b5 straight away. No. We have the very natural move to ruin his pawn structure, and I did not take it. Namaste, Pegasus. Namaste. E. Holterman. Namaste. Thank you for the follow. Alright, next up, Castles was played. Can I really play this move? Or do I play this move? I feel like this move wins material. The queen cannot stay on the bishop. So I'm always concerned about losing too much material after knight takes b5, then knight takes c4. Knight takes d6, double check. Knight takes c4. So they only look at bishop takes. And there is no discovery. I was never planning on castling. Nicely done. Alright, in the 3+2, so let's just see something. Is it true? Just make sure I don't have a lesson just now before I go nuts on this note. I spent so much time trying to build up. 504 Rosen trophies. $169 pawn mates. So, what do we need to do here? We need to look at first things first. Andre Hiro. How did I let this one slip? I think we'll do it this way first. Grab the corner. You can always have this on, by the way, the resizing the board. This is the easiest way to resize the board regardless. So I played rook there. I could really save this position. Could I really save this position? I can play check and d2, a6, d1 equals queen, and then get my rook behind the passed pawn. Is this true? No, huh? Alright, fair enough. And is this a draw? a6, d2, king f2, rook e8. And if this pawn becomes a queen, that pawn becomes a queen. Is that true? Oh, I just take. Indeed. So all I have to do really is get back and cut off the king and then threaten to promote my pawn. This was a close one. I just didn't see the difference between getting my rook behind the pawn in this position or my rook behind the pawn in that position, and I see that I have 2 extra tempi here. Wow. Everything was good up until that moment. So now we have the same exact problem. Nope. And of course, because now if the pawn moves forward, this pawn moves forward. And on that, I'm literally threatening to promote my pawn. A8 equals queen, d1 equals queen, check. Got it. A8 equals queen, d8, d1 equals queen, check. And that draw is forced because they have to take my queen, and I take their queen. So in this position, I still have a chance to make life difficult. Nope. With d2, king takes d2, king e6. Yeah, that one's a little bit of a ridiculous one. Right? Interesting. Fair enough. Fair enough. Done reviewing Black's mistakes. That was... So in this particular position, yeah? Oh, not this particular position. Let's learn from our mistakes here. It was b6, I believe, right? b6 undermining the pawns. If c takes b6, knight takes b6, and I get rid of the bishop that can assist in the pawn storm. Maybe I don't need to take it right away. Bishop has no squares. I see. I'm going to have to learn these but a little bit better than this. So in this position, I played a4. And again, I should play b6. Nope. So I have an advantage. I don't know if I can call it clear. Ah, yes. This move, which I did not guesstimate the power of. And that's where we were. A5 was played. I have to take. Uh-oh. What happened? Did you get locked out? Yeah? Not gonna do any tricks for everybody? Here, watch. Aww. Yeah, one more time. Right into the hand. Aww. Yeah, I know you want some loving. I know you want some loving. Nobody else is home. Alright, that was a very cool trick. Thank you, Principe. Yeah, he reaches up and he grabs your hand. And sometimes he'll just constantly just put his hand in like he's... and you can get him to stand up for quite a while when you scratch his ears. So he'll stand up on his two legs like a meerkat and just take all the loving with the ears that he wants. Alright, moment of truth. Again, I think I had to take, right? Nope. Queen d3? Nope. Takes? Nope. What do I do in this position? This looks very, very sketchy. He's coming in. Not sure what it does. So what does it do? Interesting. However, they thought that I could just defend with g3, interestingly enough. And there doesn't seem to be a way in with the queen, which is hard to believe. Queen. And now that the queen can't come in, I can take the knight. And play knight f5, rook to g1. Is that true? It seems pretty sketchy. Because he doesn't even have rook to h6. My knight is a beast. That's why. f5 square. I just played g3, knight e3, knight f5. So yeah, I knew this was a blunder. I was going all in here. And I don't think I have time for this. I don't think I have a choice. I have to move my rook, if not that, right? Oh no, I can't move my rook. I can't do that. So first things first, we have to take the rook. And then perhaps we can get something going over here. Rook takes a6, and we just try to pretend to ignore him. And f takes g3, wow. And he's got a whole lot of nothing. Knight takes g3, rook takes f8, check. And he can't stop this pawn from promoting. Queen takes b6. What? I even have a takes... Oh no, I'm losing this position. I'm still losing, obviously. I was going to say, if I have counterplay with a7, that's great. But he always has check and takes to get behind the pawn. Done reviewing White's mistakes. So that was Dr. Ahmad Saturn. That was very sad. Viking. Did I have a faster way to win this? No mistakes found for White. No mistakes found for Black. I have to have mistakes all over the place here. 87% accuracy, 1 mistake, 6 inaccuracies. So, yes, in this position. Followed by e7. Just the Forkovich. Just removing the defender and forking. That's a nice high-level tactic. I did have one other game with Ron Hay in this particular mess. At the end of the 3+2, I thought. No, at the end of the 1+2+1. So what could we have done better? Not bishop e4. Maybe knight e4? No, I'm a little concerned about this, but I guess I always have bishop to e3, so knight e4. Just to open up the lines. God, I'm so winning. Is it just pawn takes? No. That defends and attacks at the same time. Really? Knight takes, thank you very much. And this is hanging. This cannot be stopped. Oh, and I can just move. It's so tragic that he can't even stop it here. C takes D3. Rook takes E5. I didn't like the idea that he was going to try to bolster his defenses. I didn't want to give up on the F7 square either. But this is what I missed. This is what I missed. Whoa! I can't go for that. No, I can't go for that. Just so winning. Next. That was my only mistake. That's hard to believe. Did we lose our connection? Very strange if we lost our connection. Clicking on everything does not seem to make a difference. Very strange. It is true that we might have lost our connection. But I don't see losing the connection on all others. Or is it just lead chess?
Dark Blade.
Said. Lycus is down.
Lycus is down. That's our cue. That is our cue to go somewhere else. We'll raid Alexandra chess. How you doing, hon? Where'd you go? Oh, I thought you left. Chessie came and did some tricks while I was streaming. Everybody loved that. All right. So thanks everyone for being here. Oh, we need to go to the ending screen. Now we've already rated Alexandra chess recently. Is there no one else? Let's go with Lily Corizzi. And I will try to make sure that Alexandra Chess's birthday goes into the birthday calendar, because I did not know that it was her birthday. Food has arrived. Very timely. Thank you, hon. Love you. Thank you, E. Holterman, for the sub. Cheers and ciao, everyone. Thank you, Darkblade, for being here, bud. Where is it? If I do it in... Where did the chat bot go? There it is.
Dark Blade.
Said. See you around, Sensei.
Principe Mishkin. Namaste.